If you're an entrepreneurial mom and you've been struggling to grow your business beyond what it is right now, if you find that you've been stagnant and you haven't been seeing the growth that you really truly know you want to see in your business, this video is for you. I'm going to be discussing the one biblical principle that can literally skyrocket your sales and allow you to start generating the income you want to see in your business. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Janel Ranée. I am your faithologist, certified life and business mindset coach, and I help entrepreneurial moms to grow their digital businesses aligned with their God-given purpose using biblical principles so that you can create that life of freedom and fulfillment that you truly desire. And so I'm going to go ahead and jump right into what I have for you today. And the biblical principle that I'm going to be talking about is sowing and reaping, okay? It's sowing and reaping. And we know how imperative it is to sow good seeds, right? If we want to reap a good harvest. And so if you're not familiar, the Lord oftentimes speaks to me through acronyms. And so he gave me a powerful acronym for sow and reap, okay? And so the S in sow is to serve. You gotta serve. And we're literally speaking about sowing and reaping from a business perspective. And so when I say serve, you got to show up. You got to show up on social media. You have to serve your audience. You have to plant seeds. Every time you're showing up to market your business, you are sowing a seed. You're planting a seed, right? And you're literally serving others. And so it's really important to understand that the more you show up on social media, the more you serve your audience is the more seeds you're planting. And those seeds that you're planting, they will reap a harvest. And I want to share with you Galatians 6, verse 7. It says, "Do not be deceived, God is not mocked," right? "For whatever a man sows, that he will also reap." And then I'm going to jump down to verse 9 where it says, "And let us not grow weary while doing good, for in due season we shall reap if we do not lose heart," right? And so it's so important that you continue to show up, continue to market your business, and continue to plant those seeds. Continue to sow seeds, and you will reap a harvest, right? Do not lose heart. All right, so now we're going to jump into the O in sow. And so the O is, now that you're showing up on social media, it's really important to offer your solution to your audience's problem, right? You've got to offer, you got to make an offer to them. You have to give them a call to action. You have to put yourself out there and offer your services, right? It's one thing to show up and to pour in, but you're not going to be able to reap if you're not putting your offers out there. You got to offer your solution. And while you're offering your solution, you also want to keep in mind that you want to be prepared to overcome any objections as well. So you have to understand your audience. You have to understand your best client and what it is that they're looking for and what are some of the objections they might be having. And another thing with the O is you want to be able to overcome any mindset blocks that you might have as well, right? Overcome any mindset blocks that you might have. It's really important to do mindset work. That is why I am a business mindset coach. And I help my clients do a lot of mindset blocks that are preventing them from showing up and really marketing their business, growing their business, and we're able to unlock and to really help their business to accelerate to that next level by doing that mindset work, right? And so it's really important that you overcome any mindset blocks that you might be having that is causing you to be stagnant in your business as well. So that's the O, right? Offer your solution, overcome any objections or any mindset blocks. The W in sow is to now wait, right? And while you're waiting, you want to make sure that you're waiting well. So you're planting your seeds, you're sowing your seeds. When you're planting a seed, it takes time, right? So it's seed, time, harvest. So in that waiting time, how are you waiting, right? Are you exhibiting the fruits of the Spirit as you're waiting? Are you impatient? Right? Or are you actually, waiting with joy, waiting with love, waiting with peace, waiting with gentleness, right? Waiting with patience, self-control, Faithfulness. Like, how are you waiting? Are you exhibiting the fruits of the Spirit while you wait? You have to also walk by faith and not by sight. So even though you might be sowing and planting seeds and not seeing the harvest right away, it's really important that you walk by faith, not by sight, and trust the process, knowing that it's seed, time, harvest. So it's going to take a little bit of time, right? But you got to trust God in that waiting season. And an analogy that the Lord gave to me too was, just think of your business as like a restaurant, right? So who's the owner of your business? Who's the owner of this restaurant? God is. God is the owner of the restaurant. God is the owner of your business. And you have to see yourself as a waitress. See yourself as a waitress, and you are serving. Imagine being in a restaurant and your waitress is terrible. I'm sure you've probably been in a restaurant and had poor customer service. It's the same thing with your business. When you are, working and operating as a waiter and you're serving your clients, you have to see that you're serving God's people. And so when you're serving God's people, you want to make sure that you are going above and beyond, right? You're going above and beyond as you show up, as you serve. You're planting good seeds. Like I mentioned before, you are exhibiting the fruits of the Spirit. You're having patience. You're serving in love, right? You're serving with joy. And so you have to literally wait on God's people. Imagine your business as a restaurant, and just wait on God's people. Serve his people well. And his restaurant is going to flourish with people, because it's going to be such a word of mouth. You're going to have such a good reputation around these social media streets, because you are serving so well that people don't want to keep you to themselves. They want to tell their family and their friends about you, because you're showing up and because you're serving them so well. So while you're waiting, be sure to be serving well, waiting with the fruits of the Spirit, and you will see a harvest in your business. Okay, so that's the W, wait well. Now we're going to jump into the R. So the R in reap is to reverence God with your revenue. Okay, reverence God with your revenue. Deuteronomy 8:18 says to acknowledge God, because it is him who gives us the power to get wealth. And so you want to acknowledge him first, right? Reverence God with your revenue. So now you're reaping, right? You're reaping, your income's coming into your business, it's flowing in, but you have to remember to honor God first. Give God what is owed to him. Reverence God first. Reverence God first, because if it wasn't for him, you would not have the ability to get the wealth that you have gotten, right? You would not have the ability to have the health and strength to be able to communicate. The ideas that you get, those are all divine. That's all from God, right? James tells us that all good and perfect gifts come from above. You have to honor him with your first fruits. So reverence God with your revenue. So now we're going to move on to the E. The E is expansion. So now you've been serving well, you've been waiting well, you've been, harvesting the revenues coming in. So now your business is able to expand, right? You're no longer a one-man show, a one-man band. You're now able to expand your business by possibly hiring an assistant, maybe partnership, right? You'll actually be able to take your business to the next level now that you're expanding. And so E is really to expand your business. Now that you have more revenue coming in, you can expand your business also with like business credit. Like now your bank is seeing that they can trust you with, business credit, business loans, and things of that nature. So you'll be able to expand exponentially, and you're going to see such even more of a harvest in your business, because you're able to now outsource things, and you're no longer doing it on your own. Now that you have an assistant that can help you in your business, you're going to see such an expansion, even with partnerships, like really just joint ventures and things of that nature. You're going to really see such an expansion, such an explosion in your business during this reaping phase. So now the A. The A in reap is to acknowledge yourself, okay? So we acknowledge God first and foremost, but you gotta acknowledge yourself. Congratulate yourself for making it this far. I often say that success is 95% spiritual and only 5% physical, right? So the physical work is sending the emails, showing up on social media. That's the physical stuff, right? The back end stuff, the funnels, all that. But the spiritual work is what really matters. Really, that's really what matters. And it's your persistence, it's your resilience, it's your faith, right? For not giving up. It's your passion, it's your determination, it's your discipline. Those are the things that you can't see. Those are the spiritual things that you cannot see. But that's what really drives your success. And it's just, you have to take the time to really acknowledge yourself for persevering through difficult times and just remaining resilient and really going forth after your dreams and really just believe in God, having the faith to believe God with the vision that he's planted in your heart. And it can be so hard. This is why so many businesses fail and so many entrepreneurials stop, because the process, it's not an easy road. If it was an easy road, everyone would be doing it. It's not easy. But when you do reap, you reap big, because you planted seeds and you sown into your business, and you will reap a harvest. That is the word of God. He himself says it. Literally, I'm going to read it again for you. Galatians 6:9 says, "And let us not grow weary while doing good, for in due season we shall reap if we do not lose heart." All right. And so in that reaping phase, the A, acknowledge yourself. You did not lose heart, and just trust and believe and know that God is with you. He's guiding you. He's leading you, and you will reap. Okay. You will reap a harvest, a bountiful harvest. And so finally, the P in reap is process. You have to understand that this sowing and reaping is a process, and it's a process that's going to go on until the end of times, right? This is a biblical principle that God has set into the universe, right? It's a universal principle that God has put in, right? He's woven it into the fabrics of the universe, this sowing and reaping. There's no way to get around it, right? You cannot sow orange seeds and expect to get apples, right? If you sow good seeds, you will reap a good harvest. You get out what you put in. And so don't sit there waiting, for apples to come from the tree if you planted orange seeds, right? You reap what you sow. And this will be a continued process. So keep showing up, keep sowing, keep planting seeds, and you will see a harvest. You will reap a harvest. So I'm just going to do a quick recap. And so the S in sow is to serve your audience well. Show up on social media, plant seeds, right? Continue to plant your seeds. And then the O is to offer your solution to your audience. Make offers. You've got to make offers. You've got to be ready to overcome objections and also overcome any mindset blocks that you might be having. The W is to wait well, right? Wait well, serve well, go above and beyond for your clients. And you're going to see how your reputation grows because you are serving God's people well. All right. So that's the W, wait well. So now it's time to reap, right? And so the R in reap is to reverence God with your revenue. Give God what is owed to him. Tithe, right? Give God his first fruits, because if it wasn't for him, you would not have a business. You would not have the ability to run your business. And then the E in reap is expansion. Expect expansion, okay? Expect exponential expansion depending on how much you're sowing in. But this is where your business expands. You're able to hire an assistant and really just see your business take off and go to new levels. And then the A is to acknowledge yourself, acknowledge your accomplishments, acknowledge yourself for just not giving up. And for really, persevering and persisting and having determination and having the discipline, having the vision, having the faith to continue to walk out the vision that God has placed in your heart. And then finally, the P is understanding that sowing and reaping is a continuous process, okay? It is a process, and you have to sow good seeds. You have to sow bountifully if you want to reap bountifully. You have to sow good seeds if you want to reap a good harvest. It's just the way God designed the universe, and you can apply this biblical principle to your business. All right. I pray that this video has been a blessing to you. You can go ahead and check this video out right here where I break down more ways you can grow your business. In the meantime, I'm going to tell you, just as God told me, put one foot in front of the other, step out on faith, and trust God for the next step. I'll see you in the next one.